2 years ago, I was so scared to take up space in the gym. I was really insecure about how I looked and was desperate to make friends, but I felt too awkward to talk to anyone. From always being afraid of what other people thought of me, to being more confident than I ever thought was possible. I'm not even kidding when I say these tips completely changed my confidence in the gym. I'm also going to be taking you through a full body workout at the gym later, and it doesn't need much equipment, so you can do it in a little corner of the gym, and this is such a good way of building your confidence when you start going. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video. The first point I just want you to think about is if you respect yourself, others will too. So if you walk in there with your head held high, then people are going to sense that about you and they're going to feel more comfortable around you and you're going to feel more comfortable around them. Now, even if you don't feel confident, adopting that posture of I belong here is a little physical way that you can subconsciously not trick your brain, but sort of trick your brain into thinking that you are confident. But we don't just want to trick ourselves into thinking we're confident, we actually want to be confident. So let's rewind and get ready for the gym. Now, when you start in the gym, it's so easy to just overthink everything. I was really scared of what people were going to think when I was there lifting like 2 kg dumbbells. But really, people don't care. And I think this is something that we need to get in our heads, that everyone is the main character of their own life. If you're walking down the street and you saw someone else walking down the street in the opposite direction, would you give 2 thoughts to them after they passed you? Probably not. So you're both going to forget each other basically as soon as you pass each other walking down the street. And it's the same with the gym, because what you tend to forget when you start in the gym is that these guys who've been going for 5 years or something, they are in their zone and getting on with their workout. And in time, you will as well. Really, the people you meet in the gym are probably some of the nicest people you're ever going to meet, because they know what it takes to start from basically zero and they'll respect you for doing the same. One thing that I was scared about when I started the gym was that people would laugh at me or just stare at me because I didn't know what I was doing. Although you might get some weird looks if you're doing something seriously wrong, honestly, people don't notice. Because like I said, they're in their own little world, they're focused on their own workouts, probably got 101 other things that they need to get done after their workout. You're not their top priority. Sorry to burst your bubble. People are more focused on themselves, and as soon as we realise that, it just takes a whole lot of pressure off. Now, a really good way to help you feel more confident in the gym is by actually feeling confident in yourself before you walk in. You could put on some makeup, a good fit, I'll get onto that in a minute. But in terms of makeup, if you're the kind of person who doesn't wear makeup that often, like myself, then you might not feel confident walking in with a full face of makeup on. It really depends on the person. So for me, I usually just put on mascara because I feel like it makes me look more awake. And when I feel more awake, I'm automatically more confident. You might have been able to tell, I was kind of a bit more asleep before I put my mascara on, and now I'm a bit more awake. And I just feel like that's an automatic confidence boost. I don't know, it doesn't make much sense, but in my head, that's what works. Sometimes I put on a bit of concealer, that's the word. Not that you have to, like, I rarely do. But on those days where I'm feeling a bit less confident, because we all have those days, that's a small thing that helps. But if you like do really cool eyeshadow and stuff, and that's what makes you feel most confident, then go for it. Like, go to the gym with full face of makeup, and that could be just what you need. Another thing that really makes me feel more confident in the gym is having my hair up in a way that I know is not going to fall out, because there's nothing more distracting than your hair sort of coming out halfway through a set. I don't mean like out, I mean like out of the way you've had it up, just to clarify. I usually go for like a low bun sort of thing, situation, nothing too fancy. Today, you might be able to tell, my hair's a bit greasy because I need a shower tonight. It's shower day. There's a whole other topic to get onto. When you start going to the gym, your life just becomes orientated around your hair wash days. If it's really bad, I just go for a hat. Anyway, we move. Putting on a hype playlist while you're getting ready can just get you really excited to go work out. You want to take the music with you to the gym. That's how you go in the zone, right? So when I step into the gym with my headphones in and I'm just in the zone, nothing can stop me. I'm in that gym I will walk straight in like I own the place and get into my workout. I don't mean that in like a patronising way or anything. It's just once I'm in that zone, you know the workout's going to get done. This is a little bit of a mess. Oh well. Some days I kind of like going for the messy vibe. You know the vibe I'm going for. Now, a massive part of feeling confident in the gym that not many people actually appreciate is feeling confident in what you're wearing. Some days it can be an oversized tee, other days, most days, it is a super cute fit. But when I started at the gym, I was so self-conscious about what I looked like and what I was wearing because I was just that skinny, nothing really like fitted right, so I just didn't feel good in what I was wearing. My go-to would be an oversized t-shirt. This one is from Whole Strength. I love it so much because my faith is a massive part of what motivates me. Yeah, so this is one of my favorite verses that says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." And that is so true. When I remember that, it just gives me an extra boost of strength during my workout. I can go on forever. But honestly, having a fit that you feel confident and comfortable in is gonna level up your workouts because you're not gonna be so worried about what you look like. You're gonna feel good and you're gonna be able to push harder. Anyway, let's get into today's fit. I'm not really feeling an oversized t-shirt vibe today. I know I've got it on just now, but I just love wearing it around the house. I'm gonna be real. This is how I live. You guys know me if you've seen any of my videos by this point. I love wearing Gymshark. I feel so comfortable and confident in their clothes. So I don't know if it surprises you, but I'm honestly not the most confident person. When I started going to the gym, I was often really intimidated by the scary looking gym bros. I want to just make it clear to you now, they are so much less intimidating than they look. It is actually funny. Once you make friends with a gym bro, they're going to be one of your best friends. You know those people with that resting face, right? Take that to the gym and level it up by like 5. You see what I mean? It's really just because they're in their zone, in their workout. If you saw me in the gym, you might think that I look like I want to kill you. I don't. I'm just in my zone, and I am in my zone hard. This is the same for so many people, and once I get there, I am just somewhere else. A lot of people think that having confidence in the gym is just down to your personality, and although this is true to some extent, it's really a skill that you can learn. And I know that from my own experience. When I started the gym, I would just sort of sneak in the back, like behind all the guys working out, go grab my little 2 kg dumbbells and then sneak back out. But now I walk straight in there, like straight through the middle of them, take up a whole bench because the guys don't own the benches, right? And do my little workout there. You're not doing anything wrong. You deserve to be there just as much as they do. And once you put yourself in that position of feeling like you belong there, because we've all paid the same membership, right? Then it's going to be so much easier for you. My next tip to becoming more confident in the gym is fuel your energy. Before we go to the gym, you want to get some food in that's going to give you the energy for your workout. Because if you're lacking that energy, it can be so easy to lose focus and sort of get distracted by the people around you. And once you start getting distracted, then that's when those thoughts come in of, what are people thinking? Am I doing stuff right? And we don't want that. We want to do everything we possibly can to get rid of those negative thoughts. Once I've got more energy, I'm so much more confident and can actually push hard at my sessions. So you want something with a good amount of carbs and protein. You could have scrambled egg on toast, overnight oats, cereal and a protein shake. It's really up to you. Just something that's going to give you the energy you need for your workout. Okay, but what about those times when you drop something in the gym? And I don't mean like on purpose, like when you're deadlifting or something. I mean like if you fall over and make a fool of yourself in the gym. What then? That can be a big knock to your confidence if you don't know how to manage it right. I can be super clumsy in the gym. I've dropped dumbbells on my feet, I've walked into machines, I've straight up fallen off a machine. There's been so many times where I've made a fool of myself in the gym. And that's only natural. But it's the way you deal with it that's going to make a whole lot of difference to your confidence. So the one thing that I do not want you to do is pretend it didn't happen. Because that's just going to make you feel embarrassed and like, oh my goodness, what just happened? What I want you to do is laugh about it. If it's really, really obvious, then laugh at yourself because this just releases the tension from yourself physically. It tells your brain, it's okay, this is funny, it's fine. And the people around you, if they did notice it, which they probably won't because they're in their own little world, then that releases the tension from them as well. Essentially, you're giving them the permission to laugh with you because they know you're alright for a start, and you just completely get rid of that awkward moment. Also, as an added bonus, that action of you laughing at yourself tells your brain that it's okay, and it makes you feel happier. And get this, will help you push harder in the rest of your session. So really, laughing at yourself is the best way to cope with those situations when you kind of slip up a bit. Okay, so we're gonna head to the gym, and I'm going to take you through a little dumbbell only full body workout. This is going to be a good workout whether it's your first day at the gym or you just want to switch things up a bit. All the exercises, sets and reps are going to be on screen, so you can take this video with you to the gym and then have a look back if you need to check your form or anything. Also, just before we go, you might think I look confident now watching this video, but I have never filmed in the gym with a microphone. The reason that I find this seriously scary myself is because I've always been a person who doesn't want to get in the way of anyone else, and I'm very conscious of that when I'm filming in the gym. I'm hoping it's going to be quiet. We're going to overcome our gym anxiety together, guys. Okay, so we're at the gym, and it is actually a lot busier downstairs than I thought it was. So I don't know if you're actually going to be able to hear me, which is going to be an issue, but we're going to do a little warm-up here. The amount of times that someone's come up to me saying they've got a sore upper body after training legs is crazy. This is because they haven't warmed up properly. So make sure, even on your leg days, you're warming up both your upper body and your lower body, because this is going to save you a whole lot of hassle in the long run. So first we're just going to stretch out our hamstrings. It's really important when you're warming up for the start of your workout that we're doing dynamic stretches rather than static stretches, because the aim of your warm-up is really just to get the blood flowing a bit more. And when you're doing static stretches, that can usually do more harm than good. So make sure you're just keeping moving. I usually like to warm up my legs first, and then I'll go on to some upper body warm-ups afterwards. So with dynamic stretches like this, you're actually stretching both your upper and lower body anyway, because your back is getting a bit of that stretch when you're in the lower position. I like to spend at least 5 to 10 minutes doing my warm-up, because that way I'll be least likely to get injured during my actual workout. The next one's a really good sort of full body stretch. I really like it because it stretches out the backs of your legs and also your shoulders, which is ideal for a full body workout. Then we're going to do some calf. This is really just to loosen up the shoulders a bit more. Remember, we're not holding the positions too long because this is dynamic stretching. Okay, so once we've done that, we're going to do a few leg swings. This is really good for opening up your hips, especially on leg day. And the other side. This is really just to get the blood flowing a bit more. It's so important to make sure your shoulders are warmed up properly because they can be really susceptible to injury. I like to do this using bands, so I'll link my favourites in the description. Now, I tried to record this using my mic, but the music was just so loud and I didn't want to get a copyright strike, so we're going voiceover for now. We're starting off the workout with inclined dumbbell bench, and this is going to target your chest and your shoulders a bit as well. You want to adjust the bench so it's at a 30 to 45 degree angle. I usually choose lighter dumbbells to start off with and then work up the weight as I get more warmed up. To keep yourself stable during the movement, it's really important to brace your core and also push through your feet. When you get to the bottom of the movement, you might see some people going really far below their chest with their elbows, but this isn't going to get you anything more out of the movement. Just getting your elbows to 90 degrees at the bottom is really as far as you need to go. Now, I always like to start my workouts off with compound exercises. These are usually a bit heavier than your isolation exercises, and they use multiple muscle groups. Your main compound lifts are squat, bench, and deadlift, but things like incline bench press also count because you're using your legs for stability and also pushing through your upper body. So we're doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps, and if you can't quite get 10 reps, that means you probably need to use a lighter weight. Next, we're going on to a lower body exercise. So we're going to do 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps of static lunges. This is another example of a compound exercise, but also a unilateral exercise. This means that you're focusing on doing one set at a time. Unilateral exercises are really good if you're working on any imbalances. So say you've got one leg stronger than the other, you would start with your weakest leg first, and then do your reps, and then try and match that with the other leg. So adding unilateral exercises into your workouts is a great way to make sure that you're building strength evenly across both sides of your body. I especially like the static lunge variation because I feel like I get a really good mind to muscle connection. This essentially means that you can focus on the muscle that you're trying to work. So say I wanted to work my quads more in this movement. First, I'd take a slightly closer stance, like you can see here, with my knees sort of 90 degrees when it's at the bottom, and I'd really focus on pushing through my front foot as I got to the bottom to move me up out of that lunge. Now, lunges do require a lot of balance, so if you feel like your balance isn't quite there yet, try using one dumbbell in the opposite hand to the foot you have forwards, and use your free hand to support yourself against a wall. Next, we have 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps of single arm rows. You want to have one knee and the same side hand on a bench, and the opposite foot should be on the floor so that you're forming a stable base. You're going to be holding the dumbbell with a neutral grip and make sure that your back's not bent over too much. Now, a big mistake that a lot of people make with this movement is pulling the dumbbell with your arm rather than with your back, because it's the back muscles we're trying to focus on here. So what I want you to do is imagine that you're moving the weight up with your elbow. So lead the movement with your elbow, and that in turn will help you focus on the contraction that you get in your back. So pull the dumbbell up towards your hip and keep your elbow close to your body, and then squeeze your back muscles when you get to the top of the movement. You want to have a full range of motion to get the most benefit out of this exercise, so make sure that you're bringing the dumbbell all the way down but don't lock your elbow out at the bottom. Again, make sure that you're controlling the movement throughout the whole exercise. And this is also an example of a unilateral exercise for your upper body, so remember to do the other side. So start with your weakest side and then perform the whole exercise again on the other side. Getting strong in your unilateral exercises can really help you with other compound lifts like squats and deadlifts. So remember to start light, work on your form. Once you've got it down, then increase the weight, and you'll see so much more progress that way. And this strength increase is going to transfer over to your other lifts. Next up, we're doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps of RDLs. Now this is another compound movement, but predominantly focuses on your glutes and hamstrings. So you want to stand with your feet about shoulder width apart and your toes slightly pointed outwards. I personally feel this movement the most when I have the dumbbells slightly to the side of my legs and come down to just below my knees. You want to lower the dumbbells to a point where you start to feel the stretch in your hamstrings, but don't go too far past that, because once you go past the bottom of your range of motion, that's when your lower back can start to kick in, and we don't want that. We're focusing on our hamstrings here, not our lower back. To help with this, think about leading the movement by pushing your hips backwards, like someone's got a rope around your waist and are pulling you back. You want to push through your heels on the way up and squeeze your glutes to the top without overextending. For a second last exercise, we've got a little superset. So we're going to do 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps each of incline hammer curls, and then we're going to go straight into overhead tricep extensions. I really like using supersets in my workouts because it saves time, it adds intensity to your session, and it also gives one muscle group a bit of a break if you're doing a superset that's using 2 different muscle groups, like we're doing here. I like to think of this as like a complementary superset. So first we've got our bicep exercise, and then once we finish that, we go straight into our tricep exercise. So we're still targeting the arms, but we're targeting different muscle groups within our arms. Okay, so for incline hammer curls, you want to have the bench at about a 45-degree angle and have your elbows fixed in a fairly stationary position throughout the whole movement. Make sure you're controlling the movement and squeezing your biceps when you get to the top. This means that you won't put as much strain on your elbows. A really good cue that I find for bicep curls is think about your elbows as a pivot point. So you're moving the dumbbells around your elbows like they are a pivot. I hope that makes sense. For overhead tricep extension, I just put the bench down so it didn't get in the way. So you want to sit on the bench with your back straight and hold the dumbbell with both hands. You're sort of forming a diamond shape by overlapping your palms around the top end of the dumbbell. Your palms should be facing upward throughout the movement, and you want to squeeze your triceps when you get to that fully extended position at the top. Try and keep your elbows facing forward the whole time rather than flaring them out to the sides too much. And again, you just want to have a slow and controlled tempo for this exercise to really get the most out of it for your triceps. And the finisher, this is one of my absolute favourite exercises for your shoulders. It's dumbbell lateral raises. Now, a big part of seeing progress in the gym is pushing with intensity in your sessions. So one way that you can do this is by training to failure. This means that essentially you keep doing reps until you can't do any more with good form. Now, you shouldn't do this on every single set of every single exercise in every single workout that you do. But it is really good to do as a finisher just to burn out your muscles at the end of your workouts, or even on the last set of the exercises that you're doing, just to really burn out the target muscle that you're focusing on. Now, if you've tried lateral raises before, you will know that they are one of the most humbling exercises you will ever do. So lower your expectations and pick a really light weight to start off with. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart and your palms facing each other when you're holding the dumbbells. To move the dumbbells upwards, you want to focus on pushing them away from your body rather than pulling them up. A good cue that really helps me is thinking about leading movement with my elbows and with my shoulders. This can be so hard to get right at first, but I found that using a really light weight and slowing down the movement helped a lot. Try not to use too much momentum because this means that you're going to take the focus off your shoulders and put more of the emphasis on your traps. We're aiming to build up the side delts here. You can also use drop sets like I did here if you find that you're hitting failure a bit faster than you thought you would. So essentially just picking a lighter weight that you can get more good reps out with at the end of your session. And once you're done, it's time to head home and refuel. I know you will smash that workout, but if you've got any other questions or concerns about starting the gym, just drop them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Also, if you see a question in the comments that you can answer, then help each other out. We're building a positive gym community here, right? So that's your challenge. Go help each other out. I'm going to be doing more gym workouts on this channel, so subscribe if you do not want to miss out. I love you guys so much. And I wish you all the best on starting the gym. If it's your first time, I'm so excited for you. You have no idea. Love you, bye. I don't know if it's going to be backwards or not on camera. No, don't worry. I'm concentrating.